You just started night, so you got to look right at that audience and let them know.
Okay, it said we're live, but it froze. Come on.
No,
stop. Normally that'll help when it's not moving. Better go turn the camera off and turn it back on right quick. If y'all can hear us, we're having technical difficulties. Just hit the off on the camera. Just don't touch the camera if you can. Yeah.
turn it back.
Turn it off. And turn it back on. All right, that should be it. Let me refresh it.
I don't know.
Hello, hello, hello. Can y'all hear us? I can hear y'all getting ready.
Oh, okay. Well,
can you hear us now?
Hello, hello, hello.
Can y'all hear us?
Okay.
This is on. It's on my Facebook page. Hello, hello, hello. All right, I think we are live now.
Yes.
Welcome to Bone of My Bone, Marriage of the Heart. We are your hosts. I am Katina Robinson.
And I'm Ronnie Robinson.
And we have a special guest with us tonight. Go ahead and tell the people who you are.
Hello, hello. I am Autumn the Poet. I am a young podcast member as well. Here coming to chill with the marriage people.
Come on. That's all right. You need to chill with us. Learn some things, girl.
Yes, and we are talking tonight about self-love.
Absolutely. Very, very important.
Yes.
Very important.
All right. And so Bone of My Bone, Marriage of the Heart comes from Genesis 2:23 and 24.
And Adam said, this is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She should be called woman because she was taken out of man. Therefore, thank you, sweetie. A man should leave his father and his mother and cleave unto his wife, and they shall become one flesh.
Yes,
That type of man.
yes. That's okay, you guys. You know, the devil just trying to stop something that he ain't got no control
That's
of.
true,
So
that's
we
true.
pressing past. Let's go, let's go. And so the second half of Bone of My Bone, Marriage of the Heart comes from Matthew 6:21, which says, "For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also."
Yes. This is in my treasure box. Y'all know that, and you're gonna continue to know that. This is part of my treasure box right here. Jesus and this lady's in my treasure box,
Yes, yes.
and
And
she
so the
look beautiful
purpose
tonight.
of Bone on My Bone Marriage of the Heart is to encourage couples to remember
Love
love
is
is
worth
worth fighting
fighting for.
for.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. So let's dive into tonight's topic. We're talking about self-love, and we wanted to get someone young and just have
Vibrant and
experience,
radiant.
different things dealing with dating and things like that, but just to hear from a young person's perspective. So tonight we're going to be talking about self-love, and we're going to let Miss Autumn go ahead and start us off.
Oh, okay. Well, introduction. I feel like self-love is a unisex thing. It's not just for women. It's for both sides of the spectrum. If you can't love yourself, how can you love someone else? You
Come
know?
on.
So
So
true.
self-love is very, very, very important. It's a key factor to becoming who you are, before you can meet that soulmate or that love of your life. You have to know how to love yourself first so that you know what you will tolerate, what you won't tolerate, what
Come
you'll
on.
deal with, what you won't deal with, you know? So it really, really does matter at the beginning, middle, and end of the day, because a lot of people out here don't know how to love themselves, which
Come on.
creates conflict in relationships because, like I said, you can't love anyone else if you don't know what love is. So that's really just a little brief synopsis of how I feel. Self love, is very important.
It
It's
is.
very important.
It is. It is. And so, just talking about self love and just talking about knowing who you are
Absolutely.
before you go into a relationship, just share some of the things that you learned, in experience in dating and how that made you step back, kind of reevaluate who you are, what you're looking for in life, and things like that. Because I know that had some role to play with you learning
Absolutely.
self love.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, that first relationship really dealt with my father. And that honestly is the first man that a female will ever love in her
Come
lifetime,
on.
you know? So that relationship kind of put a border up for
Okay.
me, when it comes to just letting anybody in.
Okay.
Because unfortunately, that relationship didn't really put any positive seeds into my life. So I had to learn how to look around it. My mother's favorite
Okay.
word is, if you get a curveball, you curve with it. You never allow it to um, completely dismantle what you have going on. So
Okay.
how I see it, I had to learn, oh, okay, so not every man is going to have your best at heart. Okay. Not every man is going to want to see you thrive. Okay. Not every man is going to be able to speak positive into you. And then being young, I had to see at a different, I had to see it differently,
Through different
through
lenses.
different lenses,
Mhm.
definitely, because my father didn't have that love role model that I had. He had a pretty rough life. So hurt people hurt
Hurt
people
people.
at the
That's
end
a
of the
good
day.
point.
So if you can keep that from happening, if you know that you're a hurt individual, I know everybody wants to be loved. But as a human being, you have to be strong enough to hold back so that you can heal your wounds and fix and put cocoa butter on them scars before
Yeah.
you get back out there and you're trying something different with someone else. Because your baggage and their baggage, it can get a little heavy. So let's try and eliminate as much baggage before you make that first step. Now, I'm not gonna say, as young folks, we're hormonal, we're going through that phase, I guess you could say. So the excitement of dating is huge, but you have to be able to, like I said, put a little leash on it, because when you jump out there in deep waters knowing you can't swim, maybe you're gonna drown. So definitely, just it's a level of self discipline. It's a level of, like I said, just figuring out you and how you move and how you act and how your brain works. Because when you know that, communication comes better, you can listen better. And that is very, 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 very important.
It is.
Listening, because just doing this
Mhm.
creates problems. And it's just like
And even
they said, from experience,
and even in my wife and I relationship,
Mhm.
you just mentioned a key point that that's one thing that I want. And I'm talking to the guys too on this. But one thing I did, I listened to my wife. I clearly listened to her,
That is
truly
very
want to know exactly who she was and how to love her and how to enjoy her, how to make her click when things are down in her life. I knew where to go to bring her back up, but I had to listen to find those things out. And I know in your age bracket and
Let us share with the audience her age bracket. We keep referring to her age, but we haven't even told the audience your age.
I am 23.
okay,
And
20
a young lady of wisdom. You can
yes,
tell she has a lot of
23.
wisdom for her age.
23. So let me ask you, as a man, on the man side of this
Mhm.
deal, um, what is the dating life like right now for your age and the
Ooh.
way the world is right now with the carnality mentality? Do they have time to really get to know you? Do they give you the time? Do the men give you the time? What's got them on speed that's really missing the key points about you? What's got them going so fast where they missing what they really need to know about you?
And it's crazy. You said it's just for the men. That's on both sides.
Oh,
I don't think anyone knows how to really slow down and enjoy the ride right now.
come on.
Everything is so microwave,
Mhm.
and hey, I don't want a microwave relationship. I want a hot,
Amen.
the hot stove, the crock
Yes,
pot,
yes,
14-hour long
Come
relationship
on,
too.
come
yes.
So
on.
it's on,
This,
like I
this
said,
little
it's
girl
on both
got this
sides.
little girl got some wisdom up on this
She
bone.
does.
I tell a lot of people, yeah, age in my eyes don't mean nothing.
Come on.
I've been here for a couple of millennia. I've seen some things, I've
Got you, got
experienced some things. That's probably why I love the 90s as much as I do. I was probably there. But definitely in regards to that, I think it's a microwave mentality right now. A lot of people don't know how to slow down. A lot of people want what they want when they want it, and instead of understanding that it takes a process to get there,
Come on.
they're just jumping to the finish line and then
Come on.
wondering why they don't know anything, because you didn't take the
You
time.
went too fast. Yeah,
You didn't
absolutely.
take the
Absolutely.
time.
And I think a lot of what we've experienced from being
Mhm.
around young people, I think our youngest daughter is 1 year younger than her. But what we've experienced with the younger generation is this self entitlement.
Woo!
And so if
Whoop
you
that
think
is.
about if you put two self entitled people
Mhm.
together,
It's gonna be a
yes,
challenge.
it
It's
is.
battle of the sexes, and it's like, okay, so it's not gonna stop until someone gets hurt, and that's not good. You don't ever want to be in a relationship to where it gets to the point where you have to hurt someone to get your point across.
Wow.
You don't
Wow.
want to do that.
No.
I was TikTok. I reference
Talk
y'all.
about
So
relax and talk about this tonight. Come on.
reference. So it's a lot of people. Unfortunately, no, there's a lot of people out there like me who's looking for that real, genuine connection. And there was this guy who said, "What did he say?" Um, darn it slipped my mind.
That's all right. It'll
It
come back
slipped my
to
mind.
you.
It'll
It'll come
come
back
back.
to you.
But absolutely, you just have to take your time. Just take your time. Not saying that there's a specific time frame for this to go down, because someone that you've met and hung out with for 2 months can enlighten your spirit more than someone that you've known for 5 and 6 and
You're
7
right.
years.
Absolutely.
So in that aspect, you have to have an open mind. Can't be closed-minded. You have to be able to see outside of what you know, especially when it comes to dating and figuring someone else out, outside of yourself.
Exactly.
So,
So, what are some of your recommendations when you say dealing with self love? What are some of the steps that you take to make sure you're showing yourself self love and not neglecting yourself? Because as women in general, we're nurturers. We look
absolutely,
after everybody else, and sometimes we fall through the cracks. So, what are some of the things
absolutely,
that you make sure that you do for yourself to give yourself that self love?
absolutely. In this moment right now, I have a journal, and in my journal, I do my affirmations. I do what I tolerate, what I don't tolerate, what
Okay.
I look forward to experiencing in a relationship. You know, and it's really important. Like I said, you knowing yourself. When you know yourself and when you know what you're gonna tolerate, what you're
Mhm.
not gonna tolerate, it's not easy for someone to come in and just break your foundation.
That's it.
If you have that solid foundation of self love and self knowledge and self worth, nobody can really taint anything in that situation. But you have to do your part. Especially like in the mornings, I don't like to get on social media. I take my first couple of hours. In fact, I don't get on social media until lunchtime.
That's awesome.
Um,
Y'all hear that, young people? She's
y'all,
23.
it's tough. I'm
You
not
hear that?
gonna.
But it's the
It's
discipline.
tough.
Yes,
It's
It's
a
yes,
very
yes.
discipline.
disciplined.
And that's the thing. Another
Exactly.
thing that the younger generation lack is discipline.
Absolutely.
So and for you saying that, that means a lot that you take that
Absolutely.
time and give yourself half of the day before you even get on social media. That speaks
Absolutely.
volumes.
I wake up in the morning, I got my Jill Scott playing, I'm drinking my tea, I'm just enjoying the morning,
Doing you, doing you.
and that is something that we don't know how to do.
Yeah.
I think people have forgotten that birds chirp.
Mm.
Open a window in the morning, let that fresh air in, go outside, sit on the
Amen.
front porch, drink you
Yes.
some coffee, but you never know how starting your day that way
Mhm.
can push the rest of your day. Like just the past couple of weeks I've been doing this and I've seen such an improvement within my mood, within my energy because I'm literally claiming my day
Wow.
without
That's
Amen.
good.
looking, at
Come
someone
on.
else's day. And
Yes.
one thing, unfortunately, human beings are very competitive. We you know try and convince ourselves that our way is better, or oh, I want to be like this person, or I want to do that. That's not how it's supposed to go.
Mhm.
Focus on you. Is
Exactly.
And when you can do that, everything else is just, it's like ducks, they're gonna fall in a row at the
Right.
end.
Miss
You
Alicia said, "It is amazing to me to hear such a
oh,
level-minded young person.
oh,
Love
thank
it."
you. Absolutely,
And
thank
and
you.
Miss Moore said, "Setting the tone for the day." Yes,
Absolutely, it matters.
it
If you
does.
wake up mad, you're gonna have a mad day. If you
Mhm.
wake up happy and cheerful, I guarantee you that energy is gonna take you all day. And then before
Mhm.
you know it, it'll be 9 o'clock at night, and you're like, okay, I like this. Let's do this again. Wake
Yes.
up, get you some breakfast. Breakfast is the most important meal of the day, guys. I hear people saying, "Oh, fasting." No, no, no. You want to, you know, get that little supplement in. If you want to fast, get lunch. You know, and during that time, you're moving
Now
anyway.
that's from a young person perspective.
You're
That's not
moving
ours. So.
anyway. But definitely breakfast is very important. Get you some orange juice, get you some coffee. That's that natural supplement of energy and focus on it that way. That's, during the first early hours, 6 through 10. You know, that way when lunchtime is coming around, you're starting to feel that little pull of energy, but it's not like, you know, how we,
And that goes for the guys too,
actually
don't it? I mean, it
exactly.
really goes for the guys.
Self
I
love is
I
good
think
stuff.
Exactly.
I think if the guys would sit back and relax more and think about what they're gonna do for the day, relax and do everything, and think about what they're gonna say to someone. And especially if you're trying to go out and you're trying to find a girl and this and that.
Absolutely.
Relax, and this is me. You got to put Christ first on everything. As a man, the Bible says, and this is my favorite scripture, and I always quote it, Psalms 37 and 23, the steps of a good man is ordered by the Lord. The only way you're going to get a good woman like this is that you got to let God order you, and you will find
Absolutely.
her then. But you have to relax. You got to have your self worth. You got to know what you stand for. But getting back to I guess, it's about I guess. Tell it, feel it,
Talking about
relax, and tell it.
self-love. So what would
Absolutely.
you say, going through COVID and having a whole year off from the
Man,
world, the shutdown and everything, did that push you more into self-love for yourself, or do you feel like that did that awaken you for as taking care of yourself, or did that kind of just take away from what you feel like would help in your self-love?
It was a emotional roller coaster.
Oh yeah.
COVID. Oof. My entire family actually caught it. So just going through that process on its own was mind blowing because you got 6 different people in here with 6 different symptoms and
right, right,
so
right.
when we got cleared, I was like, yeah, we're going to the gym, we're taking our vitamins, we're doing this, guys, because this is not gonna happen again. And
Yeah.
honestly, yes, I do feel like COVID kind of fueled me into going further into my self love journey, taking care of myself, going to the hospital, getting my checkups, going through all of that, going back to the gym. I got a gym membership. So I really do feel like during that time, absolutely, it definitely pushed me into to getting back on it because if you don't love yourself,
Exactly.
nobody will. If you don't take
Exactly.
care of yourself, nobody will take care of you. And unfortunately, nobody will take care of you the way you need to be taken care of.
Amen.
That's
So if
true.
you're abandoning yourself and if you're neglecting yourself, you're gonna get that neglectment in whatever relationship because you're literally showing them how to treat you. If you
Exactly.
get up in the morning and you
Wow.
make that bed up and you go in there and you fix you some breakfast, I guarantee you a certain level of respect will come out of just that because
For
you're
yourself.
not exactly not just for yourself but for your significant other.
Right,
if
right,
if
right, right.
he or she is watching you do this, is like, dude, and I've had someone tell me, what culture are you from, because women don't do this, and I'm like, what woman don't clean up behind herself?
I know, right?
Yeah.
What woman don't make up her bed?
That
What
house I
woman
know
don't
will
take
be open.
I know, right?
sorry, that is your,
Personal duties.
I'm sorry, but
It is.
that ain't it. Mm-mm.
And you said a key thing that I was listening to. Our son is the gospel music artist,
Mm.
slash
We got his
rapper.
shirt on
Yeah.
tonight, the
Oh
one that's
yeah. We
Oh,
got a
that's
advertised.
cute. I
yes.
was
His
wondering
his
what that was.
CD release party
Mhm.
that he had recently, and this is the project. His new CD that came out is called Awaken.
I love it.
And so, but he wrote a song for his sister, like when she hit them teenage years, called Worth.
Woo!
And
There
when
it
you
is.
were talking about that, that made me think about that
There it is.
because if you don't know your worth, then like you were saying, what we have to do as women in particular, and this is for men and women, but women in particular, I'm talking to right now. You have to teach people how to treat you. And this is something I had to learn on my own because I was like the doormat. Like I just went along with whatever and kind of wanted to be this person's
Yes,
friend or
ma'am.
whatever and just kind of went along with that. And then I got to the point where, okay, what is going on with me? But it all started with, like you said, if that foundation is not laid when it comes to parents, a lot of time if you didn't have a good childhood or if your mom wasn't that mom that just really taught you about your worth. I spent a lot of years in a foster home, so like I didn't learn my worth at a young age, and so as a young adult, I had to start learning it the hard way.
Yeah.
And so we have to know our worth. And if you don't know your worth, what you have to do is surround yourself with people that can help you with this walk.
Absolutely.
We're not meant to walk this walk called life out by ourselves.
Say it one more.
Amen.
Let me
Say
say it
it
for the
one
people
more
in the
time.
back can hear.
In the back. I
We're
need y'all to
not
take that.
we're
Take
not
that earphone out.
supposed to walk this walk called life by ourselves. It's supposed to be community. We're supposed to be helpers one to another, not tearing each other down, not letting the spirit of jealousy rise up.
Amen.
Because what I found dealing with self-love also, and I've been told this to my face, there's people that has like been around me or just saw me, in action or whatever, doing what I do. and then they kind of got to know me. And they were like, I am glad I got to know you because I didn't like you at first. And I was like, did I do something? Did I do something? And they were like, no, it's just the way you carry yourself. You carry yourself like you're, all of that, or very
She is all of that.
independent, or the words they used was stuck up.
That sounds like they have personal issues.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so
They
I
have
was
Yes.
some
like, baby,
No, say that louder. You need to say that.
they have some
Yeah.
stuff that's on the inside of them that
exactly.
it's almost like a jealous streak
It
or an
Come
envy
is.
on.
streak that you can't help them. Just be like, oh, I'm
Exactly.
sorry, that is your,
And that's what I told him.
for
I said,
me,
baby,
but
if you only knew my testimony and where I came
you
from,
have
you will
no idea.
understand why I
Oh,
carry myself like I do, because nobody went to bat for me growing up. So as an adult, and then, I went through a bad first marriage, married really young, and nobody still went to bat for me. So I had to learn how to go to bat for me. I had to learn self-love. And now you can't,
can't stop me
yeah,
now.
it's like
Got on
you
my
either
track
like me
shoes.
or you don't. And so when it comes to
And if you
self-love,
don't,
ladies, you have to learn that everybody's not gonna like you. I don't care how good a person you are, how nice you are, or none of that. And so I know Miss Autumn, as a young lady, just tell us about that, how
oh,
you have to deal with
mm, I have
I
been
said
taught.
before. I said,
that.
I have been taught to remain humble,
yes.
no matter what I come across in life, no matter
Mhm.
what upgrade I have, it's not about the physicality.
Come on.
And that is where we get things misconstrued. You are looking at my physical. You haven't even bothered to see how my spirit works.
Come
Come
You
on.
haven't
on.
even bothered how to understand how my mind works. You're so focused on, oh, she's gorgeous. She automatically has to be this. No, 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 no,
Come on.
no.
That's it.
Not at all. Now the physical God gave me, but that spirit,
Come on.
that's what you need to be paying attention
There you
to.
go. There you go.
Instead, we're like I said, we're focused on the physiques and the smiles and it's not about that at the end of the day.
End
Tell
of the
them
It's
that
day.
not
right up
it's
there.
not about that at the end of the
End of the
It's
day.
day.
not.
She said you talking spicy. No, it's real. It's
It
real
It
at the
is.
end. And I think that is where the beginning of the healing starts. You got to take that cap off. You have to take that blindfold off and look at who you are on the inside.
Exactly.
If your inside don't match what's on the outside, there's a problem.
Mhm.
My mom,
Exactly.
hey, beauty starts within
Exactly.
and it flourishes out.
Come
So
on.
if you have an ugly spirit, you can be the most beautiful thing in the room.
Say
Come
that.
on.
You can be the most beautiful
Say
thing in the room. But
that.
if
But
your
have an
spirit
ugly
and if your
spirit.
personality is hideous, you might as
Mhm.
well be the humpback of Notre Dame.
Come on.
Exactly.
Come on,
Because
girl. What you know about the hunchback?
Look, Miss
oh, that was
Miranda.
my movie. I love both of
Look,
them, one and two.
Miss Miranda said, "Come on." They see the cover, but not reading the living
Woo!
chapters of the book. Come
Absolutely.
on, yes, Lord.
Absolutely.
And
And
see,
woof,
and that's why I want to
that's
step
it.
in for a second, y'all. I got to step in for a second.
Come on, baby.
And
Woo!
see, the way you are laying this out tonight, this is the way it should be as a man speaking about the women. I think the young guys would totally get their act together when they pull up on a sister like this. If you're gonna have a sister like this, then that you have to change your characteristics
Absolutely.
of
Or get left.
negativity and start getting
She
your
said, or get left.
right or get left.
That's
So
just how it
so
is.
but on the majority, I wish the young girls of America would start revamping their mentality and presenting themselves as queens. You ain't going nowhere if you don't present yourself right to me, because I already did me. I already have my crown. I know what I can do by myself. So if you don't come correct with your crown, then you
Ooh,
need to back up and go on, because you're gonna get cut.
absolutely.
So I just wish that the young women of America today listen to me. Listen, coming from a man that's got a beautiful wife, and the only reason I have, because I did exactly what I had to do, change my life. But I'm telling you, young women, once you all start changing y'all characteristics of what man you want in your life and quit choosing the Hollywood look and the Hollywood things out there and really treat yourself who the worth you are, like this young lady, I guarantee you the men we'll start changing our characteristics. We'll start tucking our shirts in, start making our belts looking all shiny, our gear lines straight and everything, and our Stacy's shining, ready to take you on a date. So that's the way it is, y'all. Young women, y'all can change this thing. You
And
all can
one
change
thing
it.
I need for women to understand is stay by yourself until you see that this man is bringing to the table what you know you deserve.
Come
Come
on.
on.
And
Come on.
when you stand on a specific boundary,
Ooh,
man,
you
is
said
it
say boundary
lonely?
again. Boundary.
Is it lonely? Yes.
Come on, tell
Is
it.
it worth it?
Yes.
Come on.
Because at the end of the day, you're not settling. And that is what a lot of women in today's generation are doing. They're settling because they have either a fear of being alone or they don't know what they want.
Come
And
on.
that's two bad things right there. The fear of being alone, baby, you need to be okay with being alone until that right man or that right woman, and this is on both sides,
Right,
you
absolutely.
know, that right man or that right woman comes to you correctly. And man, don't settle. Don't settle,
Don't
guys.
settle.
On both sides, don't settle.
Yes. Yes.
And
And that's what makes strong family. When you got two people that don't settle and
absolutely,
then God bring them together, they already know their foundation. They already know what they
absolutely,
stand for.
they're just
And the
added
kids,
together.
right, and the kids that they raise, they're gonna have the same mentality. Although you have your choice once you know right from wrong, you can go on your
Absolutely.
own. But as a parent, you want two people that love each other, standing on the foundation, the rock of what they was found on. And most of all, y'all, as a single lady, I know this lady here, and I know her mother. Christ has got to be first.
Absolutely.
Christ is going to tell not just the woman, that verse I quoted, take men out and put women. The steps of a good woman is ordered by the Lord. So what he want out of you as a female, he want greatness, just like he wanted greatness out of the man. So when two people get together that's got a foundation like he just mentioned, you got boundaries. You know what you stand for. You're not going to take each other for granted. And that's what a lot of things going on I see now. That the men's are taking the women for granted and the women are
It's on
taking
both
men.
sides of the
That's right.
spectrum.
They're taking men for granted.
Man,
They have
being in
missed they have
college.
missed two or three husbands that God done set right there in front of them, but they missed
Absolutely.
because they was in themselves and they done saw all the TVs and all this fame and this and that. They're whether okay, let's get together because we can get this together. But what about love first?
Yes.
Then, like my wife would always say, you get in a fight, the first fight you get in, it's like, who are you?
Oh,
I
this is
married
the
you.
other
I
side of
want you.
me, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So,
You
but
see
you're
the
supposed
full
to know
picture.
that in the beginning.
Absolutely.
Know that
Because
in the
people don't
beginning.
want to see that. All they want to see is what they first, like that first impression. I get first
Exactly.
impression is the last impression.
Right.
But if we're going to be together, you got to see my good, my bad,
Bad,
my
the
ugly,
ugly.
my confused, my you know, my
Your
pain,
weak side.
my weak side, my you know, all of that matters at the end of the day. So you don't have any whoop surprise, you know.
Exactly.
If you just take your time, just take your time.
Exactly.
Everything will come out in due time. You just can't rush it. You
So
can't.
talk about you kind of talk to the females about dealing with self-love. If you had the opportunity to that your future husband is listening right now
Y'all
to
better
this
get on his.
broadcast,
Y'all better get on bone.
tell him some things that you I ain't gonna say the word demand because that's so harsh, but some of the things you require
Yeah, good
that
word.
will
Good word.
allow you to be who you are and get yourself love and y'all balance each other.
Good question, sweetie.
Take time, take time.
Wow. I need for you to understand, future soulmate, that when it's us, it's us. It's not us and everybody
And
else.
then,
It's us. So everything that we go through, good, bad, ugly, diagonal, sideways, It's us.
Mhm.
No outside people, unless we're going to counseling. And I highly doubt we're going to do that because we're each other's counselor. That's how close we need to be. You know, that's how in
This
sync
young girl
we
is
need to
choking me
be.
up. She got so much knowledge.
That's how in sync we need to be. Understand that glam is a choice. I look at women like Alicia Keys, and I look at women like
Katina Robinson.
absolutely. I just look at a lot of Black women who are coming forth and loving their naturalness, loving their cellulite, loving their little stomach pudge, loving their freckles, loving their strawberry legs, because that's real.
Exactly.
You have women like Kim Kardashian and all the whole clan. I just pray for them because at the end of the day, they're shaping themselves to be something that they know they're not. At the end of the day, we're real. All emotion, all of it, we're real. So if you're gonna know me and if I'm gonna know you, we gotta take that time to see every level, every phase. There should never be a time, please, where we go to sleep and we're mad at each other. I can't do it. Because if I go to sleep mad, that means I'm gonna wake up with that same energy from yesterday. If anything, communication. Yes. We need to be able to communicate and set this thing all the way straight before we lay down.
That's it.
Self-love, y'all. We're talking
Absolutely.
about self-love tonight. Please share the video.
Absolutely.
We have a young lady on here that's really spilling the beans on the truth. The truth, not no fake, but this is true stuff that we're talking about tonight. And you need to hear this. And share this video. It's just awesome to hear you speak with such wisdom.
Absolutely.
And with me, my wife always tell her, God, the greatest thing God ever gave me was give me the spirit to want to love.
Absolutely.
To love
Trying
her.
to get somebody to tune in on
Facebook. Go ahead.
To the fullest. And I know it's still out there, y'all.
Absolutely.
You still can get it right. But like I guess said, you have to really evaluate yourself, know what the list that you have, the checkbox that you have for this meeting of journeying together one of these days. You got to have a checkbox. And I'm gonna tell you something. Today, men and women have it up. If they don't fill out those check box, if you got 10 or 5 or 6, how many you got? If they don't fill them out to that quality or that characteristic that you need to open up to them, they ain't the one.
Right.
And I always say on the show, y'all, if you ain't chasing God more than if you ain't chasing God more and you paying them more attention, then it's all flesh to me. It's all flesh. I mean, but vice versa. If she's chasing God more than she's chasing me, I love that. And then I want to hit on a point here before I quit talking. Independency.
Ooh.
Men, you got to step up. Don't be afraid of an independent woman that don't need you.
Say it again.
Don't be afraid of that. That is, to me, that is part of the atom bomb. If you inquire that in your equation, how aggressive she is and the way she do things, and she do it with ladylike mentality, and still be aggressive, oh, that just add to your atom bomb. Because God said, if you have a woman that you take care of and you take care of the best, what do it say, baby? It's taking care of who?
Tenfold.
It's taking care of myself. If I take care of her, it's taking care of me the most. And the God said, hey, if you do that, you're gonna have it. So, men, when you see a woman this aggressive, you need to have yourself together now. All I gotta say, don't come up barking and doing that with no teeth.
And I wouldn't use the word aggressive though.
Okay,
it's just knowing who you
straighten
are.
it out for me.
Absolutely.
It's just knowing your worth. It's not so much.
Thing.
Yes, it's knowing who you are, and you got to realize when you get a independent woman that knows her worth, she is bringing so much to the table,
yes,
to you.
And that's what I was saying.
Like the Bible says, when a man findeth a wife, he findeth a good thing and obtaineth favor. So just by you putting a ring on that finger, you obtain favor. Don't be threatened or in competition with your favor.
Come on. See, and that's all I struck
Ooh.
up just then. My wife said it just right. I
Ooh.
tried to say it that clear, but she
Go ahead,
this,
Autumn. Go ahead. Go
Ooh,
get
she
in on
said
that.
it. She said it. Oh my lord! And I was thinking about the stint, like when you find a wife, you find a good thing. It also
Mhm.
says behind every great man is an even greater woman. At the end of the day, that woman had a foundation before she met you. She had a
Exactly.
standard before she met you. She had her stuff together before she met you.
right,
Now,
right.
if you don't compliment her and it's not vice versa, mentally, physically, emotionally,
Come
and
on, come on, come on.
spiritually, then it's not gonna work.
Exactly.
You have to be
you out of your
able.
league.
Man,
You
we
out of your
might as well
league.
go ahead and pack up because
Mhm.
it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And then she tries, and then women, we just such empathetic women. You know, we're so
You want to
passionate. Exactly. So we give you chance after chance after chance. When the reality is, when you showed us the first time, we should have been kicking rocks.
There you go.
Mhm.
They're
But
right there. Right there.
it's
There's
because I love you. You know, it's
that,
because
Got
I
them
want to see
emotions
you. You know,
tied
yeah.
in.
Listen,
exactly.
you stuck on something. That was the old church we from. There was a
Mhm.
picture on the wall. You remember the picture on the wall,
Mhm.
baby? There was a painting, and you had some little girl. They was a high school, and on that painting they had the little girls on their cell phone, and the thugs, and all of them was standing over their big muscles and all that.
Mhm.
And she was saying on they had in the little bubble where they had the words in, saying, "I can change him."
You can't change
You can't
No,
nobody.
change nobody that
no,
You
don't
can.
want
no.
to change
I always
themselves.
say this though. You cannot change anybody, but I promise you, and we are living testimonies. If you are in line, know who you are, know
Mhm.
your worth. That man through walking with God, having that relationship with God, I'm telling you, he will change things in his life because he know the worth in you and he want to be with
Come
that
on,
worth.
and that's it.
So you
That's it.
can't per se change it, but a man will make some changes when he sees that diamond.
You are that
Yeah,
influence for
Mhm.
him
yes.
to change.
Oh yeah,
Yes, yes, and it
definitely.
was in my life. I'm telling you, my wife was a great influence in my life. It was so easy for me to roll on because I knew exactly what God had shown me. And I
Right.
asked God, I said, God, you give me this lady that chases you more than she chases me. You give me her, I'm yours. I told God, I'm yours for the
Absolutely.
rest of my life. And here I am today, sitting right here,
Amen. Right
saved,
here.
sanctified, and got a fine five right beside me.
Hey, come
Serious.
on now.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. So
Come
let's get
on
back to
now.
self-worth. I know
Yes.
all of this is
It is
entailing
all included,
self-worth.
all of it.
But go ahead and drop some more nuggets on especially on the young people because that's the thing. Autumn can share with you guys from a younger person
Yes.
perspective
Right.
Yes.
that y'all are dealing with that we maybe didn't deal with.
Right.
There's things that the younger generation, like I said, our youngest daughter is her age or right at her age. So y'all deal with things that we didn't deal with. It's a whole different ball game out here now.
Absolutely.
Let me say this, baby, real quick. It's gonna take you all's generations to fix your problem. It's gonna
You took the
take
words right out my mouth.
it's gonna take the 25-year-old to talk
Wow,
to the
you took the
18-year-old
words right
because
out my
y'all
mouth.
still in the same freshness of life to talk to each other and say, let's drop the guns or let's drop trying to be these players, man. These are good women. Let's stop. It takes you all to solve your problem. That's why when it comes to wisdom, though, when it comes to wisdom, y'all can solve your problem, but you got to have wisdom to understand to maintain after you done solve that problem. You learn how to use the wisdom that is taught you to maintain keeping that problem from coming back. So
Absolutely.
I said all this. You need to start talking to each other in a positive way.
Absolutely.
Your generation. Y'all want to solve your problem, but you got to start talking to each other. Start collaborating with each other on issues and situations that you can solve. It's going to happen, but it takes you all to do that. Y'all are smart enough to do it.
Absolutely.
Y'all are smart enough to do
Absolutely.
it.
All right, go ahead and drop them nuggets then, Miss Autumn.
I'm right there with them. It is our turn, you know. We're so focused on getting financially straight. We're so focused on getting,
Ooh,
some
come
tangibility
on, girl.
that we forgot that we got a whole different generation coming up behind us. We're
Shama.
supposed to be role models. We're supposed to be, setting the standard. But we can't do that because of the money hungry world.
Mm.
The Bible said the love of money is the root of all evil.
Come on.
Mhm.
Come
And
on.
we are literally just falling in its tracks. You
Wow.
know, God will provide everything that you need
Mhm.
if you are doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Come on.
If you out here focused on the wrong thing, how are you going to expect things to happen? You can't. That is not how the world works. That's not how the spiritual realm works,
Come
for
on.
sure.
Come on. Come on.
You know, you have to be focused mentally, not just physically. Emotions, all of that is connected, bro. So if we can't focus on that, we can't do anything right.
Mm.
That's good. That's good.
And you know,
This-
I was thinking about it. You know, I'm just sitting here like, yeah, you know, we're like that because the generation was they were the ones who introduced it. You know,
Right. Right.
so it's like a broken record that's being passed down generations to generations to generations, and we can't fix it until someone says, "Hey,
There you go.
this
There you
ain't
go.
right."
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Exactly.
You
So
gonna get the old, you the outcast, you the black sheep, you the conspiracy brother, you the conspiracy sister. No, I remember what this was supposed to look like, and
right.
this
Yes.
ain't it.
So you saying
So,
breaking strongholds is
oh,
the key to your generation learning how to
absolutely,
pray and fast and to break
absolutely,
strongholds from your generation.
absolutely,
We can
Stand
pray.
behind.
The
absolutely,
elders, we can pray, but it's
absolutely.
gonna
But
take
as for the work,
work. Yeah.
y'all done. You know, y'all
Man.
done birth kids, and
Yes.
your kids done birth kids.
Gotcha.
So the kids who got kids now need to step up
Come on.
and do what they got to do.
Amen. Amen.
And that's their generation that they're raising. You know,
Mhm.
of course, there's always going to be wisdom tied through the elders. And,
Yeah.
you know, thank God for my grandparents and my great grandparents. May they rest in peace, because they are the reason why my mother is the way she is. And my mother is the reason I'm the way I am.
Mhm.
And my kids are going to be the way that they are
Right.
because of how I was raised.
Right. Uh-huh.
You know, so it's a down the
It
line
keeps
thing.
going.
And there's
But
nothing wrong with that.
absolutely
There's
That's
not.
a
nothing wrong
great
with
thing.
that. But
Absolutely not.
do it the right way. And God has got the
Absolutely.
blueprint. That Bible, those words are the blueprint. How to raise a family. I mean,
Absolutely.
all of it, everything. I mean, think about Noah.
Yeah.
Think about Noah. Noah, the eighth. But think about his mentality he had to take on doing something God told him to do, but yet and
It was
still,
tough.
he kept his family together. He kept his boys together. He kept the ones they was married to together. He kept them together through all this thing that everybody in the world was
Even
saying,
when
"You
he fell in
crazy,
his
you
weakness.
crazy. What are you
Absolutely.
doing?" This and that. But he stayed focused. So that's the time you all in too. I feel like it's
This
time
is the
for the
test. This is testing time.
yes,
This is all right.
crucial.
So what you gonna do time? This
Uh-huh.
is all right. You know, they are literally, and I don't care what nobody say, the pandemic was to kill off our elders, was to kill off the
Wow.
people who set
Wow.
the foundation for these kids to
Wow.
be the way that they are.
Come on.
So now we got kids who are completely lost because their foundation it's just been shattered. You know, so they're literally having to build another foundation from the ground up,
Wow.
and they're doing it the wrong way.
Yes. Yes.
Because
It's
they
so
didn't
much
they didn't sit
gluttony
at the
and
feet.
envy. Exactly, they didn't
Mhm.
have those big mamas and them
Mhm.
Suleimans, and you
Right.
know
Gotcha.
they mattered. You know, at the end of the day,
Mhm.
family reunions. It wasn't because we just wanted you to feel like you had to go
Or
here.
somebody
No, I
died.
want
Or
you
somebody died.
exactly. No, I want you to go
Mhm.
meet your auntie. I want
Yeah.
you to go meet your great
Yes.
grandmother.
Yes.
I want you to go see where you're from,
Yes.
so that when you sit down and you have this personal self-love journey,
Come
you
on.
can put all of that into your little stirring pot, and you can figure out who you are.
Right. Right.
Nobody
Right.
said you had to be another Suleimane. Nobody
Come
said
on.
you had
Come
to be
on.
another Big Mama.
Right.
You are your own individual, but
Mhm.
you have people who poured into you to
Yes.
be who you are.
Come
So
on.
respect all of that and just put it together. And you never
Mhm.
know what you can come out, you know,
Exactly.
as. But you're sitting here fighting that foundation because you want to be heard. All right, you want to be heard, but don't disdain your foundation in the process.
Amen.
Include that
Exactly.
wisdom that was on that
Yes.
foundation,
Exactly.
so that when it's time for you to build your own, or for you to slide on out and create your own family, you got
Mhm.
help.
Exactly.
One thing I love about the Avatar, big kid,
Oh
sorry,
yeah, I love that. No, I love
but
that's one of my favorite.
Avatar: The Last Airbender is phenomenal because he literally was the spirit connector between his ancestors in the real world.
Mhm.
Do you know how powerful that is?
Mhm.
Just being able to have that connection. And why are you so wise? Oh, I got people behind me lined up, just waiting to touch me with some wisdom.
Come
Just
on.
waiting to just sprinkle,
Yeah.
dab a little bit, just in my mental, you know. But don't forget that portion. That is very important when you're figuring out who you are.
It's
You
self-love.
won't know who you are until you remember or until you know where you came from. And that's on every spectrum. That's not just when women and men. That's culture. That's black people. That's all of us. This goes past what you think it is. You know, it's so much deeper.
Yes.
So much deeper.
Yes.
Self love is a spiritual journey.
It
Come on.
is.
It's
Come on.
not
Come
just
on.
emotion. It's
Yeah.
not just figuring out your,
Just go and get your nails done,
no,
getting your hair
no,
done.
even though that is
No,
nice,
yeah.
getting your nice little foot rub,
Yeah.
doing your steams and all of that stuff. Of course, take care of this vessel, but don't forget that the real vessel that you need to be taking care of is on the inside.
Yes.
When you can heal
Definitely.
yourself on the inside, I tell you, it pours through your pores.
Yes.
Drink
Yes.
your water with your lemons in it.
Oh, yeah.
Eat your fruit, eat your vegetables.
Yeah.
Stop eating fried food. And I am on this journey right now. I have been a pescatarian since 2017. I have attempted to cut out all fried foods. I don't eat beef or pork. And that was more so a health thing for me as well. I am a type 1 diabetic. So trying to balance that out, that's all part of my self-love journey, trying to
Well, you
figure
taking
out.
good care of yourself. You're looking
Absolutely.
good. You're
Thank
looking
you.
good.
And it was definitely trial and error. There's been a couple of times I've ended up in the hospital because I am such a naturalist. And I didn't know how big of a naturalist I was until I got sick.
Gotcha.
Taking my herbs,
Girl,
my
you act
medicinals
just
and
like
stuff.
your mother.
It's the things. It's the things that
It
we go
really,
to, go through.
I know her mother, but this lady got so much. I'm telling you, she is
Wise
her
beyond her
mother is
years.
pouring every
Absolutely.
mason job wisdom into this young lady. I mean, she's
Absolutely. But
pouring it
it's
in.
also
Yeah.
It's
we
trial
gotta
and error.
that
Yes.
too in life is your biggest teacher
It
as well.
is.
You have
It is.
your mentors, your parents. They're always gonna push you in the right direction, but just because they push you don't mean you're necessarily gonna willingly go there.
Exactly.
You're gonna take a couple of turns
Turns
and and whatever you face on the other side is
Bumps
what
in
you
the road,
face.
baby.
But those bumps in the road is what creates diamonds, pressure.
Exactly.
Yes.
It
Our
is.
rubies, pressure.
Exactly.
You gotta go through some ugly stuff. You gotta bump your butt a couple of times.
Right.
Not
Absolutely.
everything is gonna be smooth sailing.
Exactly. And as parents, that's always hard for us
To
to
accept.
allow our children,
Yeah.
or those we love, to hit the bumps in the road.
Yeah.
But what we've learned for sure, and like what you just said, a lot of times you have to hit those bumps in the road to develop you.
Absolutely.
Because we can do so much as parents, and then there's life lessons that have to help mold and shape you into being, knowing your worth and knowing who
Absolutely.
you are. Because you can live off of everything that your mother or your father has taught you and import into you, but when you get out there and walk this journey called life on your own and hit those bumps in the road, that's when it builds your character.
Absolutely.
And I always say this is that you don't want your character tarnished. You don't want no situation in life should make you get out of your character, because once you mess up your character, you have to spend years building that back up. And so bumps in the road help build that character, but stay on that journey to make sure nothing gets you out of your character, because it takes a lifetime to build back.
It takes a lot.
Hey, listen, I want to give one of the sponsors, one of our loved ones, some shout out, and that is OPNS 97.1. I just want to give them a shout out.
Inspiration Station.
Yes. Where we grow.
Here we
Here
grow.
we
Come
grow.
on now.
Here
Here
we
we
grow. Get
That's
it right
right.
now. Get it right, baby.
So please listen in on Saturdays
At
at
11
a.m.
a.m. Eastern time.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And also Sunday afternoon, 6 p.m. I'm back on the stage,
All
vibing with
right.
Autumn,
All
Le
right.
Poet. So y'all tune into that as well. Super, super
Hey,
excited
tell them
because
Yes.
again. Tell them
everything
again.
is gonna tie in.
Yes.
Vibing with Autumn on the OPNS station 97.1.
What
Come on
date and
now.
what time?
Sundays, every Sunday, 6 p.m.
All
6 p.m.
right. And that's
And
Eastern
well,
Standard Time.
but yes, Eastern Standard
Okay,
Time.
7.
7.
7. All right.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I know you guys have enjoyed Miss Autumn as much as we have. I mean,
Yes.
this young lady is just a wealth full of wisdom,
Yes.
even though she's
I'm
just
proud of her.
23.
I'm proud of her.
Yes.
She's
And
one of
we
my
got
daughters
we
now.
got
She-
6 minutes.
Uh-huh.
I got a poem for you guys.
Okay.
Okay, she got a poem. And while she's saying that,
And
and while she get ready, prepare for that, listen to Bone of My Bone, Marriage of the Heart on Saturdays at 11 o'clock
And everything.
on OPNS 97.1.
7.1. Yes. And while she's getting that ready, let's go ahead and throw out about the marriage retreat,
Yes.
which is September the 10th through the 12th. Few more slots open, you
Come
guys.
on.
Just
How
I think
many,
two.
baby? Tell them.
Two.
Two.
And so if you don't get in, you're gonna miss out. But just in case you have time, go ahead and get in on Eventbrite. I will post it on here as I always do. Go ahead and sign up. And it is September the 10th through the 12th, $300 per couple, not per person, per couples. Catered chefs, just so much we're gonna do that's fun. So much you're gonna get poured into in your marriage from other marriage, not just us. God is gonna use so much in that time frame that you do
Yes.
not want to miss it. You definitely want to be
Two
a
more
part of
couples.
it.
All we need is two more couples to fill the slot of the 12 tribes. 12
Mhm.
couples to the 12 tribes.
And so God is filling the slot. So
Absolutely.
yeah, we're putting it out there. If you get in, great. If you don't, we're gonna have other events coming up. So, but if you're meant to be here, go ahead and get signed up. And it's $300 per couple.
And that $300 don't it I mean it is covering a whole lot of things. I mean, you're gonna enjoy
Maybe
everything we do.
Yeah, I know. I know
I
my
wanna
my
go.
young my single folks keep coming for us.
I
Keep
wanna
coming for us.
go.
We're gonna do a
Aw.
singles conference.
That
We're
would
gonna do
be
a singles
that.
conference.
Yes.
Now
That
we're
would
not
be
gonna do
dope.
no singles retreat for the simple fact we're not leaving no room for
We
the
don't
enemy.
want none
We
of
ain't
you
trying
hard
to
heads.
hook.
We don't want none
Trying
of you. No,
not on our
let me
clock.
say it the way Neva said. None of you hard heads come down and you can do what you want to do.
That's
No.
it. So
So
y'all
no.
ain't doing it on our clock. But on that note, we're gonna go ahead and give the floor back to Miss Autumn, and she's gonna bless us, and then we're gonna get ready to close it out.
With a poem.
It's just a snippet, guys, but
Come
it's a
on.
Do
poem
it.
that I
Let's
wrote
get
in
it.
2019, going through my self-love journey.
Mhm.
And I really, really fell in love with myself. And it's nothing wrong with that at
No.
all. If
Nothing.
anything, you need to fall in love with yourself first,
Mhm.
you
Do
know?
you.
But it's called self-love. Haha.
All
Listen
right,
up.
look
Listen
at
up.
that. Look at that. Come on.
All right. I am not ashamed to say that I am in love with myself. Fascinated by my features, intrigued by my curves, eager to meet my soul, because she just might be the person of my dreams. Everything I'd want in another person. Sweet, compassionate, but real. Someone who's not afraid to express how she feels or who she is. Enticing and original. Outside the box. The biggest cheerleader towards her people, extremely cheesy, strong, caring, has a passion for the motion of poetry, soulful, creative, a soft dominant because she's so independent, so attractive. Her confident charisma is just eye-gawking. Her caramelanin skin glows with the power from her soul. You can't help but feel it when you're in her presence. She is the epitome of imperfectly perfect, which is why I'm not ashamed to say that I'm in love with myself. She is so spiritually hungry to find that one that quenches the thirst of her soul. Mating call for infinity and beyond, but unfortunately, that is one of her flaws that awes me.
Mm.
She's so focused on finding eternity that she slips out of reality to live it out in her dreams.
Come on.
She focuses to see the good in everything and everybody. And she agrees to disagree no matter how badly she disagrees. Because she would rather live chaotic free with no arguing. Arguing creates stress and wrinkles, and she wants to look 30 at 60.
All
Come
right
on.
now.
And let's not forget about her style, man. Extraordinary in extraordinary ways. Call that thing bipolar because her look will switch and you won't even expect it.
Come on now.
Her aura is so refreshing, almost addicting. If you let it consume you on a regular, and her normal wordplay will have you orgasming mentally.
Whoa.
And I
This
personally
is
find
B.O.M.B.
her intimidating. But I know it comes with the territory, so it doesn't bother me. But when I catch her, I'm not letting that go.
Come on.
Because woe is me and she is me, so technically I already got her.
Come on.
And I will love her until infinity ends and the winds of the sands of time cease.
Awesome. Yay. That was
Thank you.
awesome.
Boy, I'm getting my
Y'all
gun.
give some hands for
I'm
our
getting my
guest,
gun. I'm
Miss
getting my gun
Autumn.
ready. I'm getting my gun ready.
Yeah,
You
that's
Uh-oh.
like
better be
poetry.
ready, boys. If you
You
come here,
gotta be
but
ready.
I forgot poetry, baby. We don't clap. We snap. We snap. We snap. All right. So you have been tuned into
to
Bone
Bone
of
of
My
My
Bone,
Bone,
Marriage
Marriage
of
of
the
the
Heart.
Heart.
We love
Amen.
you
We
guys.
love you guys. I
Give
hope you
her-
enjoyed. Share the video. This
Mwah.
is awesome. You
Yes.
single people need to hear this.
Yes, it was a
Absolutely.
phenomenal show. This young lady has wisdom beyond her years.
Yes,
So if
yes.
you didn't catch it all, go back and catch the replay. Check it out on Facebook. Check
I
it
will be
out on
sharing.
YouTube. And you have been blessed. So share with the ones that you love. Good night.
Salute you all. We love you. Bye bye. See you next week.